Before I tell you why, I'm going to ask you to be honest. And if you're honest to yourself, you'll notice philosophy is not exactly practical. I'm not talking about the application of philosophy in sciences or in academia, but in your personal life. Deciding things like whether to continue in a relationship or decide whether to comply to authority or to decide about things like taking some chances that might have some negative ramification, but could potentially also make your life a bit more meaningful. These are the kind of questions that first get me into philosophy, and I would imagine that would be the case for many others who are also somewhat into philosophy. And after some years of searching through philosophy books and on the web, I'm pretty sure that the answers to my original questions cannot be found in these medias, at least if I'm looking for some answers that can be actually usable in life. And I would imagine this kind of unfruitful experiences are quite typical among people who also seeks out philosophy for answers. If you're not sure what I mean, I hope you can try to remember at the very beginning, where you first actively seeks out philosophy for answers. It might just begin with some vague intuitions or feelings about the ups and downs in life, or it may be about some confusion you have about how you should relate to the world and the ones around you. And these experiences might inspire you with a few keywords, and with those keywords, we venture into the bookstore or on the web to begin our searches. One book or one link leads to another. Eventually, we all run into philosophy. And that's because although we might not begin with the same set of questions, but I think for the important questions in life, they very much at its core has to do with our understanding about some key concepts or words which we may use every day but rarely have the chance to think them through. Like our questions about relationship, I think it has a lot to do with our understanding of the concept of love. And about the questions for complying to authority, a lot of it has to do with our understanding of justice. And to make meaningful changes in life, a lot of it, I think, has to do with what do we mean by meaningful. And by figuring out these concepts, we enter the realm of philosophy. And we wander in this sea of quotes and theories by gurus and philosophers. At the beginning, by looking at what the wise has been saying and thinking about these important issues and concepts in life, is actually quite fun and inspiring. And it seems to give me hope that eventually I would get an answer following their path. But after some years of doing the same research and running into contents that are similar over and over again, slowly I begin to doubt whether anyone or I could actually get an answer to our original question using this approach. And I couldn't help but to also wonder if there are any alternative approach to philosophy that are beyond just learning names, theories, and quotes. Don't get me wrong, these videos are not about venting out my frustrations. There's actually a different approach to philosophy, a way I think might result in more useful answers that I would like to try out here. And so I made these videos to see if there's anyone out there who also sees this very problem and shares the same frustration. And more importantly, to try out this approach with anyone who's also interested. In short, if you want to go beyond just learning names and unusable theories from typical and popular philosophy contents out there, and want to make philosophy more useful to your personal life, then these videos are for you. Check out the first two videos I put out. They give a bit more detail on some of the things mentioned here. The first one is about how and why typical philosophy material is not very useful in our life. And the second one are in detail about the approach and method I would like to try out in the videos to come. Hope to see you there.